Hello again, guys. Like I was actually debating on whether should I make a face video or a voice video. So it's actually winter and it's so cold. So the thought of making a video, it's so fucking cold. So, but obviously I'm gonna make one. It's just that I was not sure whether I make a voice video or a face video. So I'm just gonna talk about fear. Fear. Okay, I'm just gonna talk about fear. The thing is, I actually got downloads, but I choose to ignore them because I don't like. A lot of people made a video about fear, made a video about a lot of things around fear. So, and I was like, oh, I'm not just gonna make a video about it. But you know what? I have to make a video about it because I'm guided to make a video about it. So fear, fear is something that we all experience, whereby we are being fearful of whatever, that fearful of change, fearful of or whatever circumstances that we're actually experiencing that make you have fear of being in love, fear of being whatsoever. So uh it's something that we as human we are gonna experience. It's just that some of us we keep on doing things, we keep doing things despite the fear that we're actually experiencing. There's something that Nelson Mandela once said. It said courage is not the absence of fear, something like that. It's just that I'm not. It's a quote. So fear, courage is not the absence of fear, which is true. People who are courageous, people that you see that they are fucking courageous, they are doing things that you want to do, but you feel like you are you are scared. It's not because they're not scared. It's not because they don't experience anxiety whenever they're doing something. Even people that you see online that are actually entrepreneurs now, they expense free. They expense free. Sometimes they're anxious of whatever what's gonna come with their career. Sometimes they have to go within to find inner wisdom or inner guidance, because sometimes the reason why we find ourselves anxious, sometimes certain anxious is something that we can prevent, but sometimes it's something that we cannot. But it's just the knowing that you current, you are present, the situation that is happening right now has nothing to do with um, who you are. It's just a situation. Accepting it and gonna be okay about it. So the reason why I'm making this video recently, I've been like I've been strolling on my on the TV late, like the whole this fucking weekend, and I'm like, all the movies are composed of fear. Like they all about fear, horror, blah 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 blah. There's nothing wrong with watching horror, because sometimes horror has a message too. Because everything that is designed, like everything that is created, it was because of fear. I remember when COVID-19 was something that is gonna happen. I actually find my phone. I was strolling on YouTube, and then what happened? I came across it was a virus. It's a Korean movie. It's a 2013 Korean movie, which is not the first time that I actually came across things that are gonna happen in future. So with COVID, it was eventually it was 2019. Like I think it was November, not November, probably October, September, July. It was end of July to August. I came across this video, or 2013, about virus. I forget. I find it on YouTube, and then what happened? The virus happened, but we didn't turn up to be zombies. But we are actually zombies. Just that we're not zombies like the initially like the zombies from the movies. It's just that it has a little twist. It has control of mind. They are controlling our mind, are controlling our whatever that they are doing behind the scene. They are trying to make us to be scared. They're trying to make us to have fear. in everything, not to pursue things that we're meant to pursue. They don't realize that a seed is actually um they are planting us, because seed need darkness. Whatever that they are creating, they're making us to be more aware. They're making us to be more in place where we are allowing ourselves to do research. We are allowing ourselves to find the truth instead of always listening to them. So okay, fine. I'm not gonna talk about this fucking fucked up government system whatsoever. So okay, recently I actually, like, okay, I met a lot of people who actually view me as someone who's actually fearless, and that most of the time that shit caught me out of guide. Like, what the fuck? Like, why would I not be fearful? It's just that whenever you're doing something that a lot of people are not doing, such as doing shadow work, letting go of people, because the thing is, you cannot grow without letting go of anything. There's no growth without letting go. Whether you're letting go of a job, letting go of a career that you wanted, we're letting go of a friends, letting go of whatsoever. So a lot of people are still friends with people who are in the friends in primary. No, there's nothing wrong with being a friends with people who were in primary with. It's just that sometimes you'll be like, why are they still friends? Because there's nothing that keep them being friends. They hate each other, they competing with each other. It's just toxicity. Like, there is nothing like growing. There's no growth. It's just them projecting on one another, wanting to be better than another. There's no love. It's just competition. But they call each other best friend from grade 5 in primary. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, they are fearful. They don't know what is next. They don't know what is gonna happen to them. So they keep people that are not supposed to be kept in their life. So it's something like that with fear. So like a lot of people, they think that whenever I cut people off, I've never like experienced fear. Obvious now, it's better now than before. Like, letting go become more easy when you love yourself. Back in the days, like, it was not easy, because at the time I just knew that I have to let them go. But because I knew that I deserve better, I knew that I need to be treated in the way that I wanted to be treated. So what did I do? I did what I didn't know the future. I just did what I meant was knew that I don't want to fuck with these people anymore. So what I did, I cut them off. When I did that, it's not because I was not scared. I was scared too. I cried. I cried my. There was a time I'm like, I've been thinking, why they did me dirty like that, So I was scared. I didn't know the future. I just had faith that this is something that I wanted. I knew that my gut wanted to do. So I'm always been in touch with myself most of the time. So making decision like that, letting go of people, it was something that I was not finding it something that I need to be like be faithful, because I like my company. Like, I have to pep talk myself every time when I have to encounter you, whenever I have to pep myself with talk myself with the past instead of the present. And the last 6 months with you, it was horrible. The last year with you was horrible. So I have to remember how we were 10 years ago, but we are being friends more than like we been in each other's life for 16 years. So the past 5 years we were being a dick. So I need to stay with you. But for me, I've never like had like friends that say that long. So I'm just like that person who just I don't allow 2 years. 2 years is too much for toxicity. I just like, you know what, I need to let go of this. So I just have a bunch of people that I met. So I was okay with that. But fear is something that is actually, so recently I came across, like, I was walking, so I have the tendency of knowing that someone is actually behind me, and I know that someone is actually in front of me, someone is on the side, on other side, because I can hear, like, I'm very present. So I can hear someone who's behind, I can hear whatsoever. So what happened is, I I was walking like in front of this woman. So like I was in front of this woman. She was behind me. I knew that was someone who's actually following me, and I knew that I'm quite far. Like there's actually distance between us, and she was like, and then I was walking fast, 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 and because I was Like I didn't want to talk to anybody. So I just don't like talking to people most of the time. So as I was like that, she was like, she ended up talking. Like she was like, why don't you look back when you are walking? I was like, what for? I was like, what for? Gippies. I was like, what for? I was like, what for? So I just looked at it. I was like, what? Do you have a trauma? And she was like, no, I don't have a trauma. It's just that when you are walking, when you are human, you're just supposed to check out behind. I was like, what the fuck? Don't get me wrong. If you do that, okay, it's fine. It's work for you. It's fine. For me, I just know that there was someone who's actually following me. So what did I do? I just kept on knowing that there was someone following me. There was no need for me to check out on or whether someone's actually following me or not. And I was like, what the fuck? And when I stopped, when I actually told her that I knew that you were following me, just that I didn't see the need to check who's following me. So she was like, oh, it's just that, like, she started projecting. She started projecting. She started telling me that that it's because it's a new area, blah 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 blah. Mind you, I asked her how long we've been here. She's telling me that it's been 6 months. I was like, what the fuck? Don't get me wrong. I know, like, being in a new place sometimes it has some anxiety that comes with it, but to be 6 months in one place, but you still that uncomfortable, why are you still in that place? Why are you still in that place? Unless if you have certain trauma that regarding being in a new place, like 6 months is too much. Living in anxiety, taking all the way you go, it's just too much. So not only that, I went to the hospital, right? And when I was actually the whoever was assisting with writing down my details, he noticed that I was actually born in 1997, and then he said, dependent. I was like, I don't have kids. It was like, what are you waiting for? Why people are always trying to make you like want to question your life? Why are they constantly trying by all means to make you feel like whatever that you are living is wrong? How the lifestyle that you choose for yourself is actually wrong. So I was like, okay, I get it. People are actually living for themselves, and I'm also living myself. So I didn't need to explain myself. I didn't need to prove myself to that person. I was just like, okay. It was like it started projecting, whatsoever, and I knew that guy probably got a child maybe when he was 19 or so, 20, whatsoever, because the way he looked at 25-year old, he looked like people who are actually 25 are actually that old. I'm like, what the fuck? The thing is, I know how it feels like to have a shit parent. So why would I put my kids in that? Why would I want myself to be in a position where I'm being toxic? I'm giving birth to a kid and I'm still toxic, where I'm giving birth to a kid with the man that I probably we will break up, and when we break up I won't even have the what do you call it, I won't even look at you the same way, because sometimes, like, we don't know, like, when it comes to like a relationship, it's it's something that we allowing ourselves to be present. You don't know whether it's be gonna be forever or not. So it's something that like it's something that is not guaranteed. So when it comes to that, I need to have someone that I know, even if it didn't work out, I will have a conservation with them, because eventually it's involved around kids. So why would I put myself in a position where I just know this person, like, parenting with a narcissist? Just think about it. If I happen to have kids with those people that I had in the past, like, I will be like, yo, I'm that person. When we're done dating, I just don't want to engage with you at all. Like, I just don't want to, even if I see you, I act like I don't see you. Like, I don't see the need to do that. It got to the point that I even said, I'm not gonna date someone who is from the same province as me, because province, I think in other countries, zokushaya we-Asivias, zokushawa ngempela ke manje. In other countries they call it state, if I'm not mistaken. Province, it's state. So I was like, or region, another region. So I was like, I rather date people from another region. I said that I think I was in primary, and I did that. I've never like dated someone who's around the area. It's just not my vibe. It's just I don't vibe with that shit. So okay, so I was like, people are trying by all means to take you out of your path. They're trying by all means to distract you from your divine purpose. Why they do that? Why are they doing that? Why they so pressed with the fact that you are choosing to do something that is genuine for you? Why are they so pressed with the fact that you're doing something that is authentic to you? Because at the end of the day, you set the trend. When you're setting the trend, people are bothered by the fact that you're setting the trend in a way that is not um I won't say it's wrong, in a way that you know within yourself that you won't even like it. Why would I want to have kids just because I'm 25? Why would I want to start some like at 20, like at 21 I didn't know who the fuck I was. Even at right now I'm like I know myself, but I know that I'm still in a journey of self discovery. Even if I had kids, I would still have be in a journey of self discovery. But at that age, like having kids at 20, it was something that I never wanted for myself. Like it was something that I never wanted for myself. Not only that, there's nothing wrong with having kids at 20. There's nothing wrong with having kids at 21, whatsoever. But for me, I just know that I just don't want kids. So, like whenever you're doing something that is authentic to you, people are bothered by that. Why? It's because they're trying by all means to distract you. Why are they distracting you? Why are they telling you that your psychic abilities, you doing tarot, it's devilish? Why are they doing that? Why are they trying all means to make you feel bad about being yourself? So this is something that is not just people. Even when you're watching like a lot of things, I know a lot of people are being told that news are just bad news, like always bad news. There's nothing genuine about it. The same thing with um slavery, slaves of negativity. They are constantly telling you about something that you are supposed to, that I would say it put you in a low state, because as much as losing someone through death, it's something that we're all gonna die, right? But sometimes it does bring like a negative energy. It's something that like we know it's gonna happen, but there's no need for you to tell me that who died. I don't even know that person you're talking about. Like what the fuck? I've been around people like that. Like they're telling me, oh, do you know who and who died? I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even know who and who. Like they know that I'm not even social with them. Just because I said, when they say hey, and then I said hey, now they have the need to tell me that. Why are you willing to put me in fear? Why are you constantly hating the fact that my energy is, I'm vibrating high, and then you have issue with the fact that I'm just walking my own path, and now you're trying to tell me about who and who died. I don't even know that person who died. Why would I care? Don't get me wrong, my son insensitive, but I don't understand people who watch news and expect everyone to watch news. I like, since I was a kid, I just knew news is something that I hate. I watched them when I was in primary, because most of the time teachers want us to know we watch news. They want us to give us a homework there around news, so I had to watch it. So I was like, I knew that I don't like that shit. Like a lot of things, my soul rejected it. Like I rejected TV games. I rejected a lot of things. The only thing that I've never rejected, it was watching soapies. Like I was so in soapies. Like you will you will find me on like from 8 o'clock to past 10 watching 8 o'clock 8 p.m. to probably sometimes 11 p.m. That how much I was into them. And whenever I'm done with doing that, my soul will be tired. Like I'll be so tired. Why? Because I was watching garbage. There's nothing wrong with watching TV, but to the point that I watched it that long, it was garbage for me, because every time I'll be exhausted. Sometimes I won't be have energy to do things that I said I would do. Probably homework, polishing my shoes, preparing everything for school. Because why? I wasted my precious time doing something that won't make sense, just because I wanted pleasure for that time being. There's nothing wrong wanting pleasure. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes it's just that now I allow myself, when my body say no, don't watch this, I don't bother. When I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I do this. So whenever I'm coming across people who are constantly trying for all means to make me feel like my reality is not a reality, I'm like, what? Initially, back then, I used to try to prove myself why I live my life the way I'm living my life. But now I'm like I love the growth that I see in myself. I'm not trying to agree with you or disagree with you, trying to debate. I'm just gonna let you be, because why? The way you perceive life and the way I perceive life is different. I've made like I've understand that like few years ago, the fact that my life, and I knew that I was different, but at the time there was a time that I'm triggered to the point that I was trying to explain myself to them. I was like, so now I'm like, okay, I move. They're bothered by the fact that you move now. Why are you bothered? You trying to trigger me, trying to put me in fear now just because I choose to ignore you. Now you have an issue. Why you do that? So I'm talking about things like that. So a lot of people will try to push you out of your path. People will try to do you dirty so that you be fearful, so that you won't have energy to do whatever that you want to do. There are people who are doing that not intention. They are doing that, they're not even aware how their spirit is because probably they grew up in that environment whereby they are being told they should be fearful of everything. They need to work on themselves. They're not even aware of doing a shadow work. They're just doing something that they see their parent doing. They not even have awareness of that. But there are people who are doing it intentionally. Why? Because they're scared of who you gonna become. They are scared of who you gonna be. They want you to be the same as them. They want you to be not evolve. They find your evolvement as something that is a threat. Why it's a threat? Because evolvement is not something they would say this is involvement is for these people. It's not like, it's not something that where people said this is for these people, not for these people. It's something that everyone have access to. You are all have access to be better, but they choose not to be better. Now they're trying by all means to make you feel like you are doing something wrong, not because they don't know that you are evolving. They know that you are evolving, just that they hate it. They just don't want you to see them, see you doing better than them. They forget that you are not doing it just because you want to be better than them. You are doing it because you want to do it. You are doing it because you know this is the state that you are in. You don't want to be in the state. You want to be better. Having inheritance such as evolvement, it's something that I've noticed. Not everyone is evolving. Like not everyone is evolving. That's why I view it as inheritance. I view it as ancestry inheritance, because not everyone is evolving. As much as they do have, they see that they need to do this and that, but not everyone have access to that inheritance. That's why we have people who always waiting for you to lose it, or maybe to make mistake, maybe to fuck up your life, so that they can be like, that was right, that was right, that was like, so that they will celebrate your downfall. It's because they are not evolving. They're trying by all means to prove that their philosophy is right. They're trying by all means to prove that you are crazy. The fact that you have to, for example, I think the last video I've mentioned this, that my older sister tried by all means to make me feel like my spiritual gift is evil. Not just only her, it was also the woman who gave birth to me. She was trying by all means to make me feel like whatever I'm doing is wrong, my spiritual gift is evil. Mind you, these people are very much deep into witchcraft, but they believe in witchcraft, but they act like people who are helping them to do witchcraft, people are not to have a spiritual gift. It's just that they're doing it for the money. Probably they're not having money, so they're helping those motherfuckers to do witchcraft on other people. But you know what? They're acting like my spiritual gift is not existing. It's something that I should be ashamed of, something that I should be whatsoever. My tarot card is evil, it's devilish, whatsoever. And I'm like, Some of them, they're even sending them flying monkeys to test my spiritual gift. Do I have it? And then they're making fun of it, like, oh, she's fake, she's whatsoever. And I'm like, okay. And you know what? I'm not even trying to prove myself. Like the older me wouldn't be like this. Wouldn't even react the way I'm actually reacting to a lot of tests. I'm actually proud. Like, I like the growth that I see in me. I like the fact that I'm not trying to prove myself to anyone that I'm actually have it. Just because my spiritual gift is not the same as, or some of them, they even want you to do some, like, some humans. Let me just drink my water. I'm actually tired. I'm very tired, but it's okay. So when you're actually coming across this video, I hope it helps to understand that just sometimes people are just envious, they're just wicked, and they are just evil. There's nothing coming across them that is actually nice. So, like, you don't have to debate with them. You don't have to, because they want a reaction out of you. They want you to be in a state where you're feeling like maybe they're right. If you never, like, in your life, ever go and seek for advice with that person, or maybe you seek advice and you realize they're not even doing anything with their life, they're not even improving, there's no need for you to listen to that person. The reason why I'm saying this, there's no reason why you should listen to them if they're actually not improving their life. For example, maybe you are wanting to be entrepreneur, we are in it, you're trying to building it, and you have obvious when you're doing something for the first time, a lot of people will never understand you. Some of them because they don't understand you for real, or some of them they're just intentionally being evil towards whatsoever, because they don't want you to do better than them, because in their head they think everything's a competition, which is not true. You're doing something for yourself. This is something that is aligned with yourself. So what they do, they're trying to make you feel like whatsoever. But at the end of the day, if you can't just go and ask someone who worked for 9 to 5 how to do business, how to be entrepreneur, how to be this, how to be that, how to be that. How can you get assistance from someone who never, like, have entrepreneur, who never, like, try anything beside going to university, got that deep safe ticket and went and buy work for that 9 to 5 job or 8 to 5 job? Why would you go on about trying to have someone like that distract you? Why would you have someone that you know is evil, and you know that even if you didn't know how evil they can go, probably it's a surprise, because some people, that they don't like you, but you never know how far they can go with their low vibrational energy, how far they can try by all means to make you out of it, far they can go distracting you. Sometimes you don't know that shit. You just have to find out by how far they can go. The fact that now you are improving yourself, it bothers them. Initially will bother them, but the fact that they see that you keep on going, keep on doing, keep on doing whatsoever, and then out of the blue, now they want to, and they want to do spell work. They want you to have to kill yourself, because sometimes people have a tendency of doing suicide. Wow. Like, they can do spell work for you to end your life through suicide, through ending your life, through committing suicide, because that's what they want. They want you to gone, because you trigger them. They knew that who you are. It's just that they didn't know that you have it in you, because they try by all means to distract you. They try by all means to bring fear in your life. They try by all means to make you feel bad about yourself. They try by all means to now the fact that you are not listening, not even bothered by the whatever that they're doing. So what will they do? Obviously, they will try. They go to the extent. Some go to that extent, even hire hitmen to end you. Like, you never know how far people can go just because you choose to follow something that is genuine to you. You're not even harming them, you're not even hurting anyone. You just choose to do something that is authentic to you. So don't fucking listen to those motherfuckers. I'm not saying all people go to that extent, but I know people who went to that extent. And those people were my family. And I was like, okay, I can't believe they can go that far, but it's fine. So, bye.